So I'm back at the center of Sofia, motherland Bulgaria, which was the ancient Ulpia Serdica. This is the center, and it pretty much resembles a Roman forum with trade buildings and public buildings and government buildings. Look at this, it's pretty Roman. This pretty much resembles the Temple of Saturn and the Roman Forum. And right where I'm standing, underneath us, are the remains. You see that glass dome over there? This is beneath this are the remains of the ancient city, and right there, where my finger is, underneath there, is one of the gates. I think the south gate it was of the city, and now we're gonna go see it, and we're gonna go through it, and I'm gonna shoot a video for you of ancient Serdica. Right there is the archaeological museum where we were just a few minutes before. Also inside there is a medieval church that was previously a basilica in ancient times. I could probably show you these two, but yeah, I don't want to go there now. There's also a bath complex and everything. Okay, and now we go below ground. And there's lots of shops here with Bulgarian, bullshit for selling. And you can see the walls over there, the city walls. Partially preserved, partially restored. There are the walls. With some funerary monuments. There's a man and a woman right here. And this is the gate. This right here is the inscription that was put up when they built, I think, the walls or the gates or something, when they dedicated the, the building complex. There you go. An inscription in Greek language related to the construction of the first city walls of Serdica. The inscription is carved in two identical stone blocks built into the wall over the north and west gates of the city, where fragments of it were found between 177 AD and 180 AD during the reign of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Isn't that cool? Marcus Aurelius was probably the one that initiated this building project. And this is the very gate of the city with the ancient road, and now we're going right in. It's also interesting to notice that they restored this road with parts of ancient temples. You can see, parts of the fronton, if that's what it was called in English, I don't remember. And capitals and stuff. We're walking on the ancient Roman road now, and here are the remains of the ancient city. Some of it ancient, some of it medieval. Look at this. Parts of temples all around used to preserve the road. Oh, I'm gonna fall. Okay, let's go in. It's also probably important to notice that I've been here before the restoration. I had a friend who let me come in when they were making the excavations, and it was nothing like this. All of this, it's complete. I think it's completely, almost completely, restored, made up. So it's kind of, really fake, and you can tell by the, the new bricks over there. But even the cobblestone walls are kind of new, renewed. So yeah, I've seen it in its original form when it was first dug up, and it looked nothing, absolutely nothing like this. This is our own little Bulgarian version of Pompeii, an ancient Rome. Emperor Constantine is said to have said that Ulpia Serdica is his Rome, which is kind of, dumb to believe that he really said this, but the rumor of it is still pretty epic. You can walk all over these foundations, and no one says anything. I don't know if they even lock it up during the night. And religious people throw coins in these because they're fucking idiots and they believe that it somehow helps them, gain something good from above. This is also a partially restored mosaic. There's also parts of the city preserved on the outside, where it's not covered, and I'm gonna show you these. It was a big scandal, actually. A big scandal here in Bulgaria about the ancient, quote, ancient remains of Serdica being preserved with modern materials, because they literally look like, bathroom tiles, like new ones. This was part of, I think, a basilica, and maybe this is as original as it gets. These parts here, I've seen them. I saw them when they were restored, and this is kind of original. There were also pipes, original pipe. There's a pipe there, right? You see it. There's also a church from the 19th century. This was the glass dome that I was showing you from above. There's the pipe. You can actually climb up there and no one's gonna say anything because I've done it, because I'm an idiot. And people just don't care. Yeah, this is the place where I work. Right above here in this building, and I look upon this every fucking day of my life, and it's awesome. Here you can, this is a pretty epic, in my opinion, panorama of the ancient versus the modern, because this building right there is the main governmental building built during the 50s in Bulgaria's communistic period. Oh, I haven't seen these explanations in tabloids. I've never seen them before. They must have put them like recently. And now we're gonna go outside into the part of the ancient city that's out in the open. The one that I told you about with the big scandal. It was restored with some stupid looking new tiles. I gotta say that I didn't take a particular side in the scandal. I was neither with the people who restored it, neither with the people who rebelled against it. But this is the 19th century church, which it looks kind of dumb. But I don't care about churches, especially more recent ones. And there's people there throwing coins, of course, because they're fucking losers. Yeah, nothing special for me. So let's go outside and see the scandalous tiles. I work here every day, or at least I used to work here, because I'm gonna quit in a month. But it's a pretty awesome place to work and live every day. And this right here, when we come out, we're gonna see again a medieval church, I think. A church that was, medieval, but then built over with more recent materials. I'm gonna fucking sneeze. Bless me. So, here is the church. And this church is, by the way, rumored to have held the last remains of the head of Vasilevsky, which is like the Bulgarian Superman, the mythical figure of the Ottoman period that rebelled against the Ottoman Empire and rule. And it's pretty much, nationalistic bullshit that I don't believe so much. But it's the place itself is, very historical and nice. And yeah, this is where I work, and this is the rest of the found remains of the ancient city. They dug up all of this when they were building the subway, and we're gonna go right inside of it. So it's a pretty standard building complex with the ancient Roman roads running through it. There we go. If you want to pause and have a look at the text, feel free to do so. I've also been inside there when this friend of mine, took me in and let me have a look before the restoration. It looked nothing like this. If you see this, if you look at this, for example, this wall, this line is supposed to show you where the original part is below and to where the restored part is above. But it doesn't make sense because all of this is fake. This line divides absolutely nothing. And you can pretty much, notice that now this is original. Pretty much the linings of the foundations are original. The plan of it remains, because I saw this too in its original version. I just came to the city in 12-11 when I became a student here at the university, and I saw, and they had just dug it up. They had just found it, and look at these tiles. It looks fucking ridiculous. But then again, this is out in the open, so I don't think they have a choice. If you dig up something like this, something as ancient as this, and you just leave it to the elements, it's just gonna, go into shit mode. This right there is 15th century, I think it was, mosque. Right now we are in the famous, what was it called in Bulgarian? The rectangular area of the four religions in Sofia, because within an area of, I think it was like 500 or maybe even 300 meters or some shit, there were temples of four different religions: Catholics, Eastern European Christianity, or what was it called? I forgot the fucking word. And Muslims and Jews. There's also a synagogue. Look at the tiles, they look so fucking fake. But anyway, I still think that it's fucking cool. Oh, this is a Roman road, there you go. The Decumanus Maximus. And even this isn't original. They might have used some, stones of the road to restore it, but you can't say that it's just... Look at this. You see this? This is part of a temple. Or some kind of governmental building, or this is just part of a building. And it was used to restore this original part of Ulpia Serdica. And every time I walk around here, I imagine like Cersei Lannister blowing up the septs of Baelor, because this mosque, resembles the sept, and it's pretty amazing. And right there is the Church of Saint Sunday. Literally translated in English, it sounds ridiculous, but it's Sveta Nedelja na Bulgarski in Bulgarian. And actually, this church got blown up in the 20s, I think it was, by the communists. The communist government gathered up in a funeral all the members of the opposing party, and they blew up the church, and like 200 people died or something. So yeah, Cersei Lannister might have had a hand in this. The church was blown up, and then it was torn down, and the second one in its place was built up, and I lost my way. I can't get out of this, so I gotta go back. Okay. And because it's cold and there's nothing more to show around here, I'm just gonna cut it off right here. And this was Chris from Holy Retardation and Ancient Serdica, and thanks for watching.